Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into that TA. All right, guys. So we're pushing up. We're going all-time highs. That's what I'm going to start the video off with. That's very likely going to continue being the case. And yeah, align yourself with that direction, and you're probably going to have a good time. In the weekly update, I gave you 2 levels here on SPY, 2 levels here in QQ to watch. All right, break above right over here. SPY 670.23, we're pushing up to all-time highs. QQQ, break above 608.31, we're pushing up to all-time highs. Likely going to hit tomorrow. Any pullback before then would be a buying opportunity. We know we're very likely going to go here. And I imagine after getting this little pullback, I think we'll probably get, probably at least test 620 over here, guys. VIX is definitely getting crushed. All right, so we pointed out, when you print an upper wick as large as that, either you're going to spike into it, and we are going to expect that you do not take out this upper wick here, okay, the top there. We would expect this bounce that was, if it was going to come, we would expect it to be sold, all right, this week here on VIX, all right, or we're just looking for it to get crushed. Yeah, those 2 scenarios is the likely scenario. We talked about a bearish scenario, and guess what? The bearish scenario didn't sound all that bad. That is what we talked about in the weekly update. All right. You have the MAGS ETF looking like this. All right. You want to be bearish? Feel free. Feel free to go punch air some more. Have fun. Have a blast. I don't know what you want me to tell you. People want to think I'm leading people to the slaughterhouse by just pointing out that, yeah, okay, guys, we have 20 out of 30 main charts here suggesting upside. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm suggesting that probabilities suggest we're going upside. People are stupid. That's that. Okay. You guys, though, all right. You people who tune into this channel daily, guess what? You know what's going on in the market. You're not running around like a headless chicken out here. Okay. All right. Let's go over the levels over here. SPY and QQ, guys. All-time highs incoming. 673.95. SPY all-time highs above there, guys. Honestly, we're probably going 680 plus. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to give you upside levels. This market's been, we saw how it was trading over here. I'm going to tell you right now, if VIX really just goes straight down here and we get back down to this area, guess what's about to happen? You're about to start having the same exact action, okay? Low VIX, all right? We made VIX great again, and now they're taking it back around the shed. They're beating it, okay? It's not looking pretty over there. Not looking pretty. But yeah, we're looking for new highs, guys. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to make this a long video. We're going to actually try and keep it under 10 minutes. I'm going to speed round through our trade ideas in this video, guys. We got a lot of things that started setting up again today. Some things we talked about in the weekly update, getting some nice moves today. All right. But yeah, we're going to try and go through those as quick as possible, even though there's like 15, 20 of them. Okay. All right, SPY QQQ. Look for all-time highs to break. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's it. That's it. Okay. DIA started pushing up above 466.94. We're talking 470.38, and then we're at new all-time highs. IWM. This was the ugly of the bunch over here, and guess what? It is still also pushing up. Probably going to follow suit. 2 all-time highs. VIX is getting crushed as expected. All right. And, while I say as expected, I'm just going to say I had 2 scenarios here. We're going to bounce and then we crush, or we crush. That's what, when we looked over this in the weekly update, I gave you my reasoning. Okay. Your bear case was what we got right over here. Okay. And over here, you started cooling off. Okay. Going flat in the indices for a week before you had one more spike. And that one more spike, that was where your bottom was. That's where you were able to go shopping. Okay. If we were to get that scenario, this is what I've been saying. Okay. If you sell this week, it's a clear as day buying opportunity. We know the government shutdown is going to be ending here. We now, this morning, we now get told it's probably going to be happening this week, but we knew, longest shutdown in history, 35 days. Guess what? We're 3 weeks into that. Yeah. All right. We got 1 to 2 more weeks of this bad boy. And we also know, going back to 1996, all right, 30 years of data there, that we're probably going to be closing higher than where we started that shutdown, which is this high over there. So again, bears continue punching air. Align yourself with the probabilities. I gave you a bearish scenario. We're not getting it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, either continue punching air or start going with the flow. I will tell you how to go with the flow here on this channel. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, MAGS ETF looks like it wants to push up to new highs, guys. It's just the MAG 7 stocks in this bad boy over here. And yeah, I'd say we're probably going to be pushing up to new all-time highs. You have the MAG 7 stocks. You have 6 out of 7 stocks reporting earnings this week and next. NVDA is not. Tesla being the earliest of the bunch here on Wednesday. All right, so let's just run through these guys. Amazon not looking all too bad, but again, just leave it alone until it starts shaping up for you again. Just leave it alone. You don't have to touch it right here, guys. Amazon was messing with the market today. We had, several brokerages were just, glitchy all day / down in the morning. That's Amazon AWS over here. Yeah, the stock doesn't care. It does not care at all. All right, NVIDIA, I'm still going to say, all right, I think it's probably going to push up, but I'd see really no reason to trade this over other things right here. This is not how we've reacted on all of the other breakouts. It's just not. For that reason, I'm all good. And you might be all good too. Okay, I think you'll have a good time if you just say, I'm all good. All right, move on. There you go. Meta starting to turn around, and honestly, Meta looks freaking beautiful. I feel like they're going to really pop you here in earnings. But yeah, you got this nice little rounded base going on over here. You got this range. You're about to break up 740.91. This level we've known to be paying attention to. Above there, daily cloud is going to start flipping green. All right, and you're breaking out of this 2-week weekly range. It's looking good. It's looking juicy. It's looking like it wants to push back up to highs. All right, we talked about this, the weekly update, guys. You found buyers right here off of the monthly 9 EMA there. Not looking bad at all. Not at all. Holding the 21 EMA. People might think this, this cloud indicator, oh, it's stupid. Just watch the moving average. Well, guess what? Okay, see how the cloud is still green? That's why you use it. That's it. Okay, obviously we can all just watch the moving averages. You got 21, you got 9, you got 5. Okay, but what the cloud do? It's priceless. All right, it lets you avoid fake outs. That's the biggest takeaway that I've came to gain from. Okay, fake outs. You just have a lot less of them, which I think is great. It's phenomenal. Microsoft 521.60 still level you're watching above their 531. Tesla started pushing up above 443.13 today. You have earnings on Wednesday after the close. I honestly don't think it's worth touching this thing right now. I don't. You have earnings coming on, and yeah, honestly, I think they're probably going to send you into the stratosphere here. But yeah, I'm all good. I'm all good. You want to play this guy? TSLL shares, okay, or Tesla shares. There you go. But as far as options go, I don't think anybody got business trading this over, the other stocks I'm showing you. I told you, Tesla, Apple, Google. Apple went freaking nuts today. All right. Google pushed right up the highs, but Apple went freaking nuts today. Increasing volume on the day over here. I'm thinking this is going to be continuing here in the short term. I'm thinking we're probably going to hit it with another gap up tomorrow. And I'm serious, guys. Like 275, 280 incoming. Probably going to be the case. You just had this consolidation pull back to the week of 9. Now you're pushing out the highs. Increasing volume. You like to see it. And most of the time when Apple starts breaking up from consolidation like that, it will continue either grinding higher or it continues getting the impulsive moves for the next few sessions. I am not sure what this one is going to be. I really have no idea. I will tell you premiums are going to be jacked to the tits for next week. So if you're playing this, you really got to play weeklies, okay, or just shares. So just keep that one in mind. But yeah, it's probably going to continue pushing up over the coming sessions. If you see dips over this week, okay, anytime this week you see a dip, you expect it to be bought. We're talking that same day or next day. You're expecting this action. That's Apple. All right. Google started pushing up to new all-time highs today. I think this weekly candle is likely going to expand. You can see over here on the monthly. This is the one that really tells me, yeah, all right, we're looking for at least a bit more upside here. Weekly and monthly candles look like they both want to expand over there. Daily over here, both lag, pushing right into it. I'm thinking either this is going to get some of this action, and then it starts pushing into end of week, or this thing is probably just going to start, gapping up and going. I'm really not sure. I got the vibe that this thing is probably going to be consolidating around here for a few sessions, but I'm also going to say it doesn't have to do that, okay? 4-hour RSI is overbought. It either is going to start chip chopping around here. When the 4-hour RSI gets overbought like that, you start exactly this, and then you get that. Either way, I'm looking for one of these guys. but I'm thinking we might be going through a little consolidation period over here. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's looking good. It was shaping up, and now it's pushing into new highs. It's exactly what you want to see. Okay, that's Google. All right, now moving on over here to trade ideas, guys. I know we passed the 10-minute mark, but let's see if we can keep it under 20. There you go. First of which is going to be Joby, J-O-B-Y. All right, nice bounce off of the 0.618 fib from this whole most recent rally here. Okay, pulled back. You got a bunch of consolidation around the moving averages. Cloud flipped red. Now it's back to green. That's good. That's good stuff over there. If you crack 1855 again, I don't think it rejects. I think this thing pushes straight up, and we're getting 20 plus. We're probably getting 2095 plus. Okay, probably going into new all-time highs there plus. Joby, I told you guys, everyone, I don't really care what this is going on, the price action. Now, I did stop myself out of it. It is what it is. Guess what? We got right back in today. All right, better contracts over here. And I'm thinking no matter what, I know people load the boat over here. They might have a catalyst right around the corner. I don't know if it's going to be for earnings over here, but this thing looks like it's getting ready for another leg up. So yeah, all you got to do, crack 1855. Poet. All right, another one over here. You know, I took the loss the other day. I got back in over here, and I'm going to risk right over here. I got another name right after this that you could do the same exact thing on. All right, but Poet, I'm telling you for a fact, they keep loading far out the money calls, guys. Far out the money. 1121, 13C coming in today. Pretty sure it was 13C. And, you know, you have the 14, 15, and 16 strike calls that just weren't closed out. I think it's the 15 and 16s mainly. For 1121, you do have, you know, further out than 1121, but I'm just telling you, someone is getting ready for a big move over here, whether that be a group of people, all right, people like me who are seeing it, the market as a whole, they're getting ready, all right. So Poet, don't be sleeping on it. Pretty sure this thing is probably going to go something like this, all right. Rejection, boom, on one go, you push right back up. And if it's going to go like this, then we're in this period right here, and we're actually going to see a little fake out. You pull back into the 21 EMA, so you push up a little bit over here, maybe get 18.85 over here, pull back into this area, and then you push up. Okay? Next 1 to 2 weeks, I'm thinking this thing could do some cool things. Either way, you can long right here and risk the 21. Risk the low of this candle right here. That's Poet. RR. All right, the robotics theme. Now we have Tesla coming right around the corner, Tesla earnings. Okay, guess what? They're probably going to have, you know, robotics in that earnings call. I'm guessing they're going to hype up the market about robotics. That's just a guess. Okay, just a guess. Using context clues. RR is going to perform well with that. I'm not saying it needs that to move. I am pointing out that this is the second day you're finding buyers off of the 21 EMA here. Again, just like that guy, you could take, you know, entry here, risk over here, risk 520. All right, and at the end of the day, from current price, you're risking 7%. Where, you know, you're aiming for a move back up the highs, that's 30%, and then you're going for 850 right after that. Okay, you risk 7% for this larger move. Okay, 50%. It's up to you if you want to take the risk, but it's right here. It's right here on the 21. It either is going to find buyers here and it starts pushing off of it, which is probably going to start, it's going to behave pretty quick here. It's going to get back up there pretty quick. All right. Won't be surprised to see a nice 15, 20% day right around the corner. Or you fail here, you pull back to the 9 EMA, and this is the next spot we're looking for buyers to step in. Okay. Either way, you got your opportunity to present itself right here if you'd like it. It's up to you. And SCRV, it's looking not as good, but it is also in the same spot. Okay, it is in the same spot over here. And, you know, congrats if anybody did take, I was pointing out these 2 days right over here. All right, you did catch a decent move. It did come flat on its face over here. But yeah, you're back down to 21. So the same thing. I just don't really like how this is looking at it's in comparison over here to RR. Okay, QS. I like what it's doing over here. Second day in a row, it's finding buyers right off 1503. All right, so we broke out from. You already know there's demand sitting down here. Well, we're still proving that there's demand down here, and we're still holding that daily 21 EMA there. Even though you got these two large upper wicks here, I'm thinking this thing is probably going to fade those upper wicks, and this week might give us a big green stick here. Okay, QS, either way, just set your alert. Okay, set your alert if you'd like. 1750, 1777 up there. Take that out. This thing probably is going to get, you know, probably another 20% from that, you know, from 1777. All right, but yeah, QS, I'm liking how it's shaping up over here. You can apply the same principle I just talked about, okay, if you want to take the entry down here. But I'm pointing out that it's probably going to be, it looks like it's probably going to be catching a move, okay? SOFI, start pushing right back up today. I really like how the weekly is coming along over here. You got these two upper wicks going on. It does remind me of what you had going on over here, except I would argue this looks like it wants to make this move this week before earnings next week. All right, so you do have earnings, so keep that in mind if you're, you know, buying options. You do have earnings next week. You got to keep that in mind. But this looks like it wants to continue and take out this high here, 30.30. It looks like it's probably going to get up there this week. Above 29.09, we have 30.30. NVTS, all right, caught a nice bid over here this morning. And yeah, it's looking like it wants to continue. I would say 20 plus is in the cards over here for NVTS, okay? ALB still in consolidation, right underneath resistance here, 99.07. Above there, I'm thinking this is just going to kind of, you know, make its move to the next area, which is 113.91. Above 99.07, we're talking 105, 110, and then 113.91. Palantir, PLTR. All right, catching a little bid today. I've been pounding the table on this in this range over here, saying it's a no-brainer, and I pound the table once more over there in the weekly update. This thing, if the market cooperates this week, this thing goes. The market doesn't cooperate, it consolidates another week, and I don't know what to tell you. It's still in the same range. It looks like this thing wants to start moving. All right, above 184.82, you have 190. Above 190, guys, I'm calling it 200 plus incoming that week. Okay, real quick, short term. I think this is going to probably bring us straight up to 220 though. Okay, 210, 220. This is now, you know, a 17-point range. We'll just say it's a 20-point range. Push up against, you know, all-time highs, 210. Okay, I think 205, 210. That should really be the target over here. Or this next move, and I think we could hit it 1 to 2 weeks. All right. UNH didn't get the move over here. We didn't forget about you, buddy. We didn't forget about you. Found buyers on Friday off the 21 EMA, and now it's starting to push up. This is probably going to start pushing back up to 376.22 and above there. I think we're going straight to 393.11 this time. I don't think it's going to play no more games. No, 400 psych level incoming. Okay, above 368. We have 376.22, 393.11, 400, 409.70. I'm really liking it. Really liking it. AMD, from the monthly to the weekly to the daily to the 4-hour, it looks like it wants to bust a move. All right. Bust the rhymes, bust the mimes, bust an AMD. Okay. It looks like it wants to push up. It's been consolidating for 2 weeks now. You can see over here on the weekly. All right. We're pushing up out of the 2-week range. Yeah, it looks like it's going to continue in the short term. And I'm not going to really give you a target, but I do think we're going to see 250, 260 come if this wants to just get one more day like this. All right, just one more. Give me one more, buddy. 255, 260 incoming. MU, congrats if you took your profits off with me this morning. All right, we got a nice pump. I think it's going higher. We saw 1 month out, 290C come into this name over here. Holy cow. What are they about to announce? That this thing is about to run, you know, 40%. That is 40% out the money. I am not saying it's going to happen, but I am telling you there were several orders for the 290 strike today. One of which being, I think it was June 2026, and one of which was, you know, 11/21 expiration. That's insane. Okay, that is genuinely insane. This is, I'm not going to say it's up there with the other guys, but it's still a $230 billion market cap. I don't know what they're going to announce, but there's got to be a partnership or, you know, some sort of, you know, surprise catalyst here that's going to come out over the next month that is going to really pump this thing. Okay, so I'm not telling anybody to blindly do, you know, just take longs up here. I have been pointing out at the most opportune spots. I pointed out over here. I've been pointing out since we broke out of this consolidation over here. It was like going to be moving up. All right, and then we got another consolidation going on over here, and I was pounding the table on it over here. This is the only thing that was really holding up really well in the market. You had MU, and then I feel like it was Google I was pointing out. But yeah, it was holding up very well over here, holding its own, and now you push up to new highs. So, you know, congrats if you're taking your entries earlier in your range over here. But I think this thing is going higher. You hit a high of 214.75 today. And yeah, you know, I have to assume this is probably going to get a nice big fat green weekly candlestick, just like these other two, you know, recent consolidation breaks here. You got that one. You got that one right over there. You got that one right over there. You got this one right over here. I'm thinking it's going to be getting some nice moves. Okay, so this was just the beginning. And yeah, it could not be the beginning. But I'll tell you, if this is going to be similar to the other times, then tomorrow we take out 214.75 and we push like 220. All right, look at how many upper wicks you have over here going on. Okay, boom, boom, back to back. Oh, boom, you got another, and oh, what happens? You keep pushing. All right, so I'm expecting it to be the same. I don't think we're going to just fade here, but I could be wrong. And if you do, maybe this time is different. All right, either way, I hope some of you guys made some good profits over here in MU. TSM, top watch, but not yet. All right, top watch, but not just yet. I'm thinking we're going to be getting a nice move this week. All right, I want to see you push through 307.30. All right, above 307.30, we have 311.37. I think we could take this bad boy up to 320 plus in the short term, all in 1 to 2 sessions there, if we can get above there. Ideally, this happens into end of week, and we could play weeklies there with a lot less premium on them. And yeah, we'll see about it. We will see. But yeah, very similar look over there to MU. Consolidating over here, it doesn't look as strong. But yeah, I just want to see you push out through this area, and I'm pretty sure it's going to behave like all of these other breakout attempts over here. Okay, TSM, ARM. ARM is another chip name that's not looking all that bad. You know, I'm just going to pause and say, SMH guys, chips, I'm sorry, but this is not going to top right here. I'm sorry, but this either goes like that and then that, or it goes like that, and then like if you sell, it's going to be from higher prices. I could be completely wrong, but you know, you guys can kind of hear in my voice how confident I'm saying that stuff with. Like, that's just how this is a flat top. This is, you know, an equal high it's making over here. If you pull back, it's the same thing like Spine QQ pulling back after we're sitting right underneath all-time highs right now. Like, you know it's going to be bought. Okay? Just align yourself with it and you have a good time. Okay? Don't have to take risky bets. You really don't. Okay? Chips as a whole, they're looking like they're going to be moving up. MU, TSM, ARM. These are three of the, you know, top names that I'm giving you right now. And then you come over here to INTC, and I've also been pointing out that this has been holding up throughout, you know, the little correction we got. Little corrective period. All right. Friday's massive sell there 2 weeks ago. We can, 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago. It's about 2 weeks ago. But yeah, this thing just hasn't. Okay. It did not have a massive correction. No, this thing held up strong. And it looks like this week we're probably going to get to 39.65 and start pushing up to 42 bucks. That's what I'm thinking over here on INTC. And this is another strong chip name. So that is now 4 chip names that you can, you know, pay attention to. All right. ARM above 174. Okay. We're going to mark out this high right here. You have 175.97 above there. I think you're pushing 182.88 and then all-time highs. You already got all-time highs over here on the 4-hour chart recently, which tells us, yes, there is demand that's willing to bring you up there. They sold it. So there's also supply sitting up in this area. So you got to keep that in mind. I personally will not choose to trade ARM over INTC, TSM, or MU. I just won't. AMD, I got longs in there as well. But yeah, you know, it is definitely something I can't really deny. Yeah, it looks like this thing is going to be pushing up in the short term, and it could be explosive. All right, either way, chip names are hot right now. They are hot. Hot boy, hot boy. All right, TEM, we're watching for the break above 97.79. Above there, we're talking 104.32, and then 110 plus comes in the short term. Considering you barely moved here, I have to assume at some point you just hit the jets, okay? And we're probably going 120 plus, and it could be this. All right, could be this time. So set your alert, 98 bucks. If it gets hit, when you can start trading it to the upside over there. Okay, I'd suggest on plays like this, guys, pick if you're an option trader. All right, you can either go with the swing, all right, where you're confident you're getting a good entry and you're willing to, willing to sit in it, or you use less size and you go with the shorter expiration, and you could probably pull out a similar gain if you're going to be right with a lot less risk on the table. All right, it's up to you how you want to trade it, but that is how I'd be trading this name over here at TEM, along with some of these other names I already mentioned, okay? MP. Hammer candlestick, yeah, pin bar candlestick. Either way, you got a bullish candlestick stem from the 21 EMA over here, guys. I am still thinking MP is going to be pushing back up the highs. I'm not saying it's going to do it this week, but I'm liking it. TMC also pulled back to 21 EMA. Looks very similar over there to MP. You had this big breakout, okay, and now you pulled back, and we're sitting right around where you broke out from. Yeah, keep this on your radar over here, and I'd say if you can get back above, you know, we're gonna say 950, but really $10. Okay, say you're looking for $10. If you had that get hit, you're probably just pushing straight back up. We're gonna take out 1220, which was this 4-hour high we have, the overnight high there. Okay, that's TMC. USAR 21 EMA test on Friday. Found buyers today. Heavy volume coming back into the stock. I think rare earths are about to heat up, boys. I think they're about to heat up again. I think people are going to write them off now that they cooled off, but we're not going to because, yeah, we're seeing that they're probably going to be heating up again. And premiums just got crushed. And let's get it, boys. Let's get it. USAR, I gave it to you on this breakout right over here. Guess what? The thing is now pulling back from much higher prices to the 21 EMA. Along a trend, guys, you usually get a good amount of test of that 21 EMA. The 9 and the 21, they will be your friend until the end. Yeah, this is probably going to start pushing back up the highs. Put it on your radar. USAR, Path. All right, Path over here, guys. I gave it to you before it broke out. I gave it to you when it broke out over here. And then, nah, I don't think I gave it to you before it broke out. I think I gave it to you on this day right here, pulled back, and then I reminded you guys of it over here, and it started pushing right back to highs. That's how that went, okay? I don't think it was on my radar until I got my alert of this level right here, 1335 hit. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Either way, all right, gave it to you, lower prices. He went to much higher prices, and now we're getting the mean reversion, okay? So I'm just going to say, people are going to just same concept I was just talking about, okay? People like to write things off and they don't pay attention. Guess what? When a stock is trending, when a stock is just starting to reverse, you are going to get mean reversions. I talk about all the time here on this channel. Don't get scared. All right? The whole market pulled back. We're getting just there. Guess what? You didn't have to run around with, you know, your head chopped off like a headless chicken. You didn't. Okay? You knew what to expect. You knew to say cool, calm, and collected. Just take a chill pill. All right, the market's going to shape up for you again. And what happened? The market shaped up for us again. All right, now we're pushing back up to highs. It's not that hard. All right, but I understand it is that hard. It's a stock market, okay? The job of the stock market is to fuck with your head and take your money. All right, don't let it do so. I'll try and keep you grounded here on this channel. You just got to hit the notification bell. Path, though, I'm really liking this guy, and I don't think this is over. And you're finding buyers right here around 1593, that big breakout level. I know it's so far a false breakout. I think this thing's probably going to start pushing back up. You're right around the 21 EMA. I'm liking it. Roblox, all right, also finding buyers off the 21 EMA after pushing up over here. You got the equal high going on. We know this is very likely going to be tested. Can't say when, but with what's going on over here off the 21, I'm assuming that's probably going to be here in the short term. Above 142, we're talking 150.59, and then you have another breakout move in your hand, and this thing has been trending for a while. You've been consolidating. Yeah, you might have an explosive move right around the corner here. Now, here's the thing. They might be waiting for earnings over here. Okay, you had this big-ass move up off of earnings over here. All right, nice 20% move off the open. It did fade it, okay? Like the whole entire move within 2 sessions, so keep that in mind. That's what happened last time. All right, but that's Roblox. Netflix, you have earnings tomorrow after the bell. I'm not telling anybody long before earnings, okay? I'm telling you long after earnings. I'm not telling you to do anything because there's no financial advice given on this channel. But if I was to, I would say wait for earnings, let premiums either get crushed or, you know, so what, premiums move up a bit. At least, you know, you probably are going up the highs and you have that potential negative catalyst out of the way. This has been getting ready for a move for a very long time. They either slam it or they start getting it over 1267 off of earnings tomorrow. It looks like we're about to start breaking over 1267. And above there, we're talking 1341.15. Comes pretty quick. We're thinking 1 to 2 weeks. It has been avoiding this impulsive move back to the highs. Okay. I think it's likely going to happen right now. All right. Earnings. They're happening tomorrow after the close. Most of the time, Netflix crushes premiums. Okay. So keep that in mind. Even if you get a 5% move, it's okay. All right. It's all good. It's all good. All right. Most of the time, Netflix crushes premiums anyway. You don't have to put the odds against you. You can just take a chill pill and take a step back, trade it afterwards. That's Netflix. Above here, 1267. We're talking 1300 and 1341 can come real quick. INTC, I already pointed out over here, but yeah, above 39.65. I'm thinking to push it up to 42 bucks. CELH, okay, I'm bullish on this pullback over here. I don't know how deep it's going to go. Maybe you build out some consolidation, maybe a range above this previous high here at 6350. But you have earnings, you know, beginning November there. You can use the 1031 expiration. You could trade weeklies if you want. You could trade shares. But I do think this thing is going to get up to 69 bucks, and I think this dip is going to be bought that we're seeing right now. I don't know exactly how they shape it up. Maybe they consolidate you for a few sessions, then pump it into end of week. Really not sure. But yeah, you got the rejection here, and last week we got the close above that key level 63.5. Yeah, they want to bring this bad boy up, and that's that. Walmart, I'm bullish on this dip over here. I'm expecting it to be bought. All right, we're talking within, you know, tomorrow. All right, within tomorrow or the day after that, I'm anticipating that this gets bought, and we're pushing back up over here to highs 109.58. It's a no-brainer kind of move. I know how this thing is traded over here. I think we're done with that price action, but I'm just going to remind everyone, this thing has been a piece of poop for a long time. Don't put yourself in a bad spot. Even though, you know, Uncle Henry over here is getting you all balled up at Walmart, I'm just reminding you how this thing is traded over here, and we've had a lot of failed moves. I do think it's over. Okay, I think the failed moves are over, but I will just remind you, don't put yourself in a bad spot. You don't need to bet no farms. I don't care how clean it looks. I genuinely don't. You got no reason to bet farms. We have so many trades that can happen every single week. Okay, if you just take a step back and you don't, again, run off like, you know, a chicken with the heads cut off. You don't need to be that chicken. You don't. All right, but to avoid that, you got to control yourself. All right, so Walmart, it looks beautiful. It really does. And I'm looking for it to continue trending higher over here in the short term. It's Walmart. Cypher. Okay, you printed a doji candlestick. I think we probably take out 22 bucks this week, and I think 23.24 is incoming. That's Cypher, all right? And that's what I'm going to leave it at. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. A little bonus one, Rocket Lab. Guys, putting in this consolidation we point out right over here. It's putting it in. All right, so you do have earnings over here. You could buy, you know, the 11/21 monthly OPEX there. It is right after earnings. You can buy any expiration before earnings. If you're, you know, knowing you're buying in at a good price, okay, it's the same approach I was talking about earlier. Use less size, use a shorter expiration, and you could typically pull out the same amount of money if you get your timing right, which, you know, I'm telling you guys how to get some timing right. All right, you can pull out the same amount of money using less capital. All right, and that's, you know, I think that's still the ideal approach in this market, just so you can be in and out. Okay, and if you're right on something, you find out quick, you get paid in a big way. Okay, and if you're wrong, guess what? You accepted the risk ahead of time. Maybe you sized for zero. Maybe you, and either way, all right, trade however you want. All right, I'm just pointing out, I still think, hey, we're in a bit of a tricky market. We're definitely, you know, we're re-entering that hot space right now, and I think, you know, Mag 7 stocks are probably going to lead the way. Chips are going to help out. But yeah, just keep in mind how this market has been absolutely fucking people. Okay, so pardon my French, but I think that I think that's a perfect word for it. Okay, the market has been doing a very good job of that, and people have been panicking like those headless chickens. Don't be that headless chicken. All right, with that being said, guys, I appreciate y'all, love y'all. All right, if you like this video, please remember to actually hit the like button. Okay, I know you like it in your head. I know if you made it to the end of the video, you definitely do. But please, all right, there's definitely over 300 to 400 people to make it to the end of each one of these videos. There's, you know, 30 to 40% every single video that does. That is more than 300 to 400 likes each video. Please just remember to leave a like on the video. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're on a TV, if you're watching on TV, because I know some of you guys do, it's okay. All right. But if you are on a phone or computer, I'm talking to you. Please remember to help out our channel over here. I would greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, guys, if you want to come trade with me, all right, I trade all these names here. Okay. That link is going to be down below. I'm live every day. And other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.